This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INCRadio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCRadio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Yes, it is time to get this show started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of INCRadio Northern Midwest. I am your host for today, also John Villacruz, live here from Rockford, Illinois. How are you all doing today? Just put your comments there in our live chat. So we're gonna be talking about one of our favorite topics here in the Northern Midwest, which is food. Specifically, like unique spins on classic dishes. So if like let's say, for example, I know a popular dish for us is adobo. So, like your family might have a different way or like different recipes when making those dishes. So that's what I want to start with today. My friends here in the panel with me, Tony, Abe, and of course everyone there in our team live chat. What's a dish that your family makes differently from others? What would you say is the dish your family makes differently? Like, it's a, that it's a, a classic dish, but your family, but it's kind of like a twist to it.
So, personally, actually, I don't know if this is a twist because I've never made it and I've never asked my parents if this was a twist. But what my dad does when he makes his caldereta, I know for one, I don't think this is the one thing that makes it different, but I know he uses goat meat instead of, I don't know if beef is the most common. I don't know my Filipino recipes. I'm so sorry, but
it's so good in caldereta. Oh, I tried it in the Philippines. I feel like that's the original, but I think beef is more common though.
Okay, but the difference or the twist that he told me about when I asked him was that he uses a specific cheese. I didn't know at first caldereta cheese went into caldereta, but he uses, I don't know what's common.
I didn't either.
I didn't know what's common in caldereta, or is it not? Maybe it's not. I don't know, but like recipes
No,
I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cheese.
I don't know. I didn't know that cheese was
that's the twist.
like goes in caldereta. That's the twist.
Like, at least from what I saw, recipes online that I've just quickly looked at just to reference or review, they have like cheddar cheese, which I didn't know, but I don't know if that's even traditional or if I was just looking at like Americanized caldereta recipes. But he uses a specific cheese that's kind of like Edam cheese, that's like from the Netherlands or something. Like I think it's shaped like a ball, if I'm not mistaken, but that's what he uses for his unique twist on caldereta. It is really good. I don't really taste it unless that helps with the spiciness. Maybe that's why.
I would say because like the caldereta, the sauce, I don't know what is sabaw in English. Tony, help me out. I don't know what sabaw is in English.
Okay, hold on. I don't think this counts. Pause. I don't think that counts as sabaw because sabaw to me is like broth. Whereas with caldereta, it's more saucy. It's a thicker sauce. It's more of the sauce. The sauce.
Okay.
Right.
It's like
Is it like
sauce.
your ratio of like?
But the sauce. The sauce of caldereta, it's like it's like it's not like the sauce, or like it's not like sabaw, which is like, let's say for example, like in sinigang, right? It has a very different consistency. It's like creamy,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? So I can see why the cheese is there. I can definitely see why you like it makes sense in my brain why you would put cheese on caldereta, is of the the sauce is it's like a thicker sauce than sabaw, right? So I can see it. I can see it. And then and also because of like how or like I think the originally it is supposed to be like goat meat. I think with caldereta it's just easier to
Okay.
Yeah.
find beef. Yeah, but it's supposed to be goat meat, and I can see them using goat cheese as well, because
Ah,
like how
makes
goat
sense.
cheese is kind of like it's more savory than
Mm.
regular cheese. So I can
But I
see it.
didn't
I can
even know
see it.
cheese went in caldereta at all. Like
Same.
I've had it multiple times. Maybe people are sneaking cheese in, and because I love cheese, but I just didn't know that. That's crazy. That's actually
See
cool.
that that's messed up if you're lactose intolerant,
Yeah.
which is not
Right.
cheese.
So sad. So sad.
You need to put a warning: may contain milk. But yeah, no, see. Yeah, I didn't know that either, Tony. I didn't know that you put cheese on caldereta. But now that I've heard it, like in my mind, it just makes sense. Like it makes sense that you would put cheese on it. But yeah, another thing that I've noticed. Okay, so my family doesn't do this. We don't put pineapples in our adobo, but I know some people who do. I know people put. So I know some people when they cook their adobo, they put pineapple on it, and I don't hate it. To be honest, I don't hate it. Like the sweetness and the acidity, like it kind of adds to like the adobo. What do you guys think about that?
I get.
Adobo, I'm not a super big fan of adobo in general, but that's the first time I've heard about pineapple in adobo.
Mm,
Have you tried it?
really?
Yeah. Have you tried it? What
Yeah,
does it taste like?
it's kind of weird if you eat it just by itself, because you taste you definitely taste the pineapple, which is like like it's acidic, it's kind of sweet, but then you taste the soy sauce from like the sabaw, like the adobo, and or the broth, I should say, the broth of like the adobo, and like you taste one of them. So it feels like it tastes weird if you eat it just by itself like that. But if you eat it like like with the meat and then with rice, it just works. I can't explain it because it's the same sensation for me as like eating pineapple pizza. Uh, that's what
Mm.
works for me. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Like it doesn't work for everyone, but for me, it does work. Although we don't usually do it, but I think sometimes when we do have pineapple, we put pineapple in our adobo. But more often than not, more often than not, actually for adobo we use pork. Most usually than more pork than chicken. But what do you guys like? Actually, let me ask you guys, what do you prefer, like pork or chicken?
I'm on chicken, and I don't like when it's because I know some mix pork and chicken together. I'm not crazy about
Ooh, yeah,
that.
I picked
Yeah,
up on that
Uh,
too.
yeah. I like chicken. I prefer chicken adobo. Sorry
okay,
about it.
okay, I see.
There's a lot
No.
of pork lovers out there. That's why I said sorry. So no hate,
Mhm.
just preferences. Yeah.
Mhm. Honestly, yeah. I mean, see, and I don't know how many people are gonna be offended by this, but like chicken, I do love chicken adobo, but I do not like the drumstick. Like for some reason I do not like the drumstick of like the chicken adobo.
Like,
Like any other part of the chicken, I'm okay with.
and I kind of
Mm.
feel like when I see chicken adobo, like that's the piece I imagine the drumstick,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
in the
Or
dish,
the wing.
the wing. Yeah,
Yeah.
not just like a chicken breast, just like in the middle of the adobo. Not like
Which that's actually my favorite part of like it, because like I'm not too, even with fried chicken, I'm not too particular about like the chicken skin. It's like how much meat is there.
So
It's
sad.
like my what did
I
you
have a
say?
question though, because
Okay.
okay.
I've never seen it. Have you guys ever seen beef adobo? Would that just be beef steak if it's at that point?
Beef adobo. Well, no.
Like cooks, chefs in the live chat, is there beef adobo? And would that not be like beef
Steak.
steak? No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have an
No.
answer for this, but I want to hear Abe's answer first.
Now I'm like trying to compare the two, like because beef steak, you got your beef, you've got your
Mhm.
onion, you've got
Calamansi. Yeah,
oh,
calamansi, like
yeah,
or lemon,
Oh, you guys
right,
are getting there. You
sour.
guys are getting there. Yeah.
Yeah.
garlic.
Hmm.
Is there vinegar in beef steak?
I don't, to my
I don't
Is
think
knowledge.
that
so.
the difference?
I think that's the difference. But I feel
I,
like the sourness from the calamansi
Is
or
this
yeah,
the lemon,
yeah.
you
There's a
know,
citrusy. There's a
yeah,
citrusy taste
acidity
in
kind of
biscuit.
yeah?
thing. Yeah. I
No,
don't know.
yeah, and like you use like onion rings on
Yes.
this in biscuit, and there's a lot of it on beef
Right.
steak. Like it, like let's say if you have adobo and you put a lot of onions there, people are gonna mistake it for
For
for,
beef steak.
for beef steak.
Ah,
See, that's what I would like to try. If someone could make adobo with beef, because I love beef, that would be interesting.
Mm.
And then Joanna Kalfas, hi Ate, she's there in the live chat. She said adobo could be anything as long as it's made with love. Oh,
Oh,
you know,
that's
aw.
there. No, true. There's actually a thing called adobong puti or white adobo, which is basically it's adobo without the soy
Soy
sauce.
sauce.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
oh.
like which I don't know, like it depends, but I actually kind of like that better than like regular adobo.
it's kind of
It's
funny.
like an awesome, yeah.
I unintentionally, I feel like made that before because I made adobo before for like a potluck at the chapel, and
Mm.
one of the brethren was like, "How come it looks so pale?"
Pale.
It's like maybe I didn't add enough soy sauce, so I think I made it unintentionally. Adobong. What did you say? You did adobong puti. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did it unintentional to make it that way. Yeah. Whoops. Anyway,
I mean, since you brought up like potluck though, since you brought up potlucks, like I know for us we like we like sharing our food with others. So why is that? Like why like for you personally or for like maybe your family, like why do you enjoy or do you even enjoy like sharing your food with others? Or you're not necessarily your food, your recipes, right? Like say you cook something and you kinda want others to try it, you know.
love language. I feel like it's a way of showing love and care to others. It's always nice
Mhm.
to get something made from home from somebody that you care
Mm.
about. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I would follow up on that with like this is like for me this is like my reason why I like sharing my food because for me like when I'm eating someone's dish someone's cooking it like do you ever get that feeling that like when you're eating it you're just like like when you taste it you're like this is them like this it's like their personality is there in that dish.
Mm, I can see that depending on what it is, I guess. I don't
Like
know.
even
What do you
yeah.
think, Abe?
Like for me, like tasting someone else's dish, it's kind of like you're you're like a part of their family already. Like you get to also taste a bit of their family history. Like they like it's dishes that like their parents made or dishes that their grandparents made like for them growing up. And so you kind of feel that home vibe when you share the
Mhm.
dishes, I think. So it is a big communal experience when you get to, share dishes that you've learned over the years. And it is really nice to see everyone's, unique tastes on certain dishes. Although, right, a lot of people will say like, "Oh, my mom makes it the best way," or like my grandma, my lola makes it the best way, right? And there's no other way that it can
I
be
think
done.
there's
But
a slightly scientific reason for that, which don't quote me on this because I'm not an expert in gastronomies, the study of food. I'm not an expert on that, but I think it's because like you got used to your mom's cooking like growing up, so that the taste, like like it's definitely because you've gotten used to it that like everything else it tastes I wouldn't say like it tastes weird but not in a bad way it doesn't like when you taste your mom's like cooking, like you just know that this is her cooking.
Mm, okay. Being used to different stuff. It's funny though because I did have a conversation with my mom earlier this week, and I don't know if you guys do this. Sometimes we make requests to because I don't personally cook, and neither does my mom. I mean, we know we can cook, but we have a lot of other people in our lives that love us very much, and and we'll take requests when we ask. But this is my thing with some of the dishes sometimes, and we kind of like talked about it already before in terms of how so many different things can be called a thing. This is my
Mm.
gripe with the desserts because why is everything called bibingka? But it's all different things. Like I get so I get so confused. I'm not mad about it, but I just get confused because it's like, wait, I thought that was why is this called bibingka? But why is this also called bibingka? But this is also bibingka, like this is bibingka biko, this is biko. This, you guys
Oh,
know what I mean? All the different desserts are called like, but it's isn't it all right? Isn't it all right? Like, yeah, I
Yes,
get
I
really
mean,
confused.
I have a no, I have a thing with that. Like it has something to do with what Abe said before. Like you get their family's history because like just going back to like being bibingka being like a Filipino, like a Filipino dish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in different regions, there's like different stuff that's like available
Okay,
back
that
then, and
makes
you don't really get like the fast, export of like goods. Like you can't really just
sense.
bring like this ingredient to that place.
Area.
Like the
Yeah.
recipe reaches it before the recipe would reach them before the ingredients does. So
Yeah.
what happens is people start having like they start putting like substitutes like like oh
Mm,
we don't have a lot of coconuts here, but we do have cows that produce milk,
right.
so they substituted with that, and then like, like
I didn't know for a second. I was like, wait, cows and coconut? What? You're talking about the milk, like replacing. I was like, you can replace like cow meat for like.
uh,
Sorry.
no, I mean like let's say like a place that doesn't have like they don't have a lot of cows, but what they do have is jackfruit, which the meat of jackfruit is like the texture
Yeah.
is very similar to meat, so I can see that being like a substitute, and then you'll just call it okay, it's this dish but for this from this region. So I think I see it, and it's what that's why I like what Abe said earlier about like you get their family's history, because I feel like a
Mm,
lot of the differences like kind of stem from like what's available
mm,
right.
for like their family back then, and then it just kind of like becomes part of like their family's history, right? Where like it's because at that time this was what was available to them, this was what they could afford, so like, and then like they just gotten used to it, like it just passed on to generations, and even now where they can afford like the original ingredients, they still stick to the ingredients that they know because
Yeah.
they're like, this is like how my family
What they
does it
use.
and we like it. Yeah.
I'm not mad about it in the way that like it bothers me. I just like, how do I know what to request? What I want? Like, how do I tell them that I want this kind of a big? I'm like, because they're all called big, and I'm like, I don't know. I get confused.
No, when you ask them, like explain like
In
the
detail, right? Like what it
yeah,
looks
in detail.
like, the color. Yeah, noted.
Actually,
But
don't
that
even
was just
call it bibingka. Just explain the texture,
described.
the taste. Yeah,
Yeah,
describe it.
yeah. I
They'll
thought
be
that
like,
was just
oh,
it was just a funny conversation I had with my mom. Just that I love what you said about it though. EJ. It's true because we make do right with what we have in the
mhm,
region, and that's always cool because like what Abe said earlier, it basically just tells a story without actually fully telling a story. So,
mhm. And that's the beauty of these like these unique spins, right? These variations of like dishes that even if it's the same dish, like let's say like what we talked about earlier, say adobo, caldereta, right? Even if it's a dish that where it's like okay, like when people see it they know what it is, right? But then your family has a way of like cooking it or doing it where like even if everyone, let's say like we have a potluck and everyone cooks the same dish, it's all gonna taste slightly different from each other because of just like how we cook it, the ingredients we use, the portions of the ingredients that we use. Like it's what makes it feel that much more homemade, that much more I don't know if I'm just being sentimental about food.
No, that's true. That's definitely accurate.
Yes, it makes me, like, for me, it makes me feel a little bit closer to them as well, being able to taste kind of like a little bit of like their family's like history with the food, which is delicious. And speaking of, that's actually what we're gonna be learning for our "This Is Your Sign" for this week, which is the word homemade. So let's see, or let's hear from our CSD department how we can sign the word homemade.
This is your song.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivan Kura. I'm the acting president of the CSD, or the Christian Society for the Deaf, in our district, and welcome to a brand new This Is Your Sign. So we'll be signing the word homemade. It's also the same sign as the word homework, so if you want to sign that as well, it's basically the same. So what you'll be doing is that first, take your dominant hand and shape it into a hand puppet, just like this. Tap the side of your face twice with the hand puppet. That's the first part. And then for the second part of the word, what you'll be doing is that you'll be shaping both of your hands into fists, just like this, one on top of the other. And then what you'll be doing is that you're going to be lifting it up and then bringing it down. So at the same time too, you're going to be twisting your wrist every time you move it up, and then when you go down, you're going to twist your wrist forward, just like this. You're going to do this twice. So 1, 2. So all together, it'll be home made. Home made. That's our sign for today, and thank you so much for joining us in this week. This is your sign. We hope to see you again next time in a brand new segment. Thank you.
This is your song.
All right. Thank you, CSD, Brother Ivan, for signing our word this week. If you have any suggestions too, please let any of the CSD officers know what words you would like to see. And for this upcoming assignment, I know you have many activities that you would like to share with us. And so we're going to take a look at a couple of them in our CFO in Action segment. CFO in Action. Right. I know it's very cold outside, but so the brethren stayed indoors this time around. Local congregation of Chesterton had their pickleball sports clinic. I've actually never played pickleball yet, so I'm really curious to try.
It's a very rare sport to hear about.
I'll just imagine it like big ping pong or small tennis. I don't know what to call it. But Chicago also had a sports clinic, their volleyball sports clinic. And look at the little children. For all ages, I'm sure. All talents, all ages. It was like a lot of fun. I wish I could jump that high. I wish I could jump that high and reach over the net. And of course, the activity throughout the entire district that was held last week, our CFO, Christian Family Organizations Leadership Enhancement and Retraining Seminar. So yes, we got to learn of the many ways we can help our district in CFO activities these that are coming up, right? So for example, our Tagisan ng Talino for the children. Again, the local competitions are in March and April, with the district finals in June. Don't forget to contact CFO officers. And our bowling next week, the 23rd, in the Maryville, Indiana area, and as well as in Fairfield, Ohio. So continue to support those from your local congregation who will be bowling, and I'm sure I will. And I hope to get to see some of you there. Yes.
Yay! Yes, exciting. Always exciting to see the different things that are happening, how active everyone is. And we know everyone has always been active there in the live chat. We love seeing you there. And we also love seeing your responses. So thank you for contributing to today's discussion. We do want to reveal the winners from last week, the long-awaited hashtag challenge winners. Let's
You were saying that so high pitched, I was cutting your mic.
I love it.
I'm mentions. Mario Oka and Sam Samarti. Thank you. What place is Grove? It's on congrats with individual. We have from Bloomingdale, Rachel and Lazar. And third place, record. Individuals, Mr. Ivy Salute. Thank you. Second place is Bloomingdale with individuals. Bloomingdale. So who's number one?
That is
Chesterton again with individuals. Adele Romero. Wow, everyone. Great job. Thank you for being here with us and commenting away there in the live chat. We always super appreciate it. Please do share this broadcast with someone who might enjoy our talks about food today and might remind them about home as well. And it's a good reminder to think of our loved ones just with this topic. So thank you to those who helped produce today's broadcast. And of course, we want to give a congratulations to everyone who's celebrating any birthdays, anniversaries, especially the local congregation anniversaries, just like the Weirton Extension Day celebrated February 2nd, which was last week, for 7 years for them. And then we want to do a quick special thanks to our Great Lakes District Ministers, Brother Arthur P. Agag, our Assistant District Minister, and our District Minister, Brother Elmer A. Sarmiento. And a very special thanks to Brother Wally Taray, our INC Radio Station Manager, as well as our CEBSI President and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Arano V. Manalo, and of course, to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Go out there, everyone, and be phenomenal. We hope to see you same time next week. Tune in. INC Radio Northern Midwest.
And don't forget to greet Ate Tony her birthday today.
She forgot to include herself.
Yesterday.
She forgot to include herself. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Tony.
I'm going to shout out myself, guys. No, that's so embarrassing. But thank you.
Share your comments, your greetings. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
This is INC Radio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station